Hello, my name is David Loy, and I am a Buddhist teacher. I would like to share with you a Buddhist perspective on the ecological crisis. I think it's become clear that the ecological crisis is the greatest that humanity has ever faced. And of course, there are many dimensions to it. It's a technological challenge. It's an economic and a political challenge. And it's also a psychological one. But is it also a spiritual crisis? Is it a crisis for our spiritual traditions and the kind of spiritual paths that they have been offering? From a Buddhist perspective, I think we can say yes, because at the core of the ecological crisis is the delusion of separation, the delusion that our species is separate from the rest of the natural world, and that therefore our own well-being can be understood, can be pursued separately from the health of the larger biosphere. There's an interesting, really a fascinating parallel here between what Buddhism has always said about our individual predicament and our collective situation today. For Buddhism, at the core of our individual problem, our individual dissatisfaction, is the delusion of separation, the sense that I am somehow in here, separate from you and from the rest of the world. And essential to the kind of awakening that Buddhism emphasizes is overcoming this delusive duality. In Zen, this involves meditation, to forget or to let go of ourselves and to realize that, as Dogen said, our minds are nothing other than the rivers and the mountains, the great wide earth, the sun and the moon and the stars. What's quite extraordinary is to realize that at the core of our ecological crisis today is really the same problem, the delusion of separation, the delusion that our now worldwide civilization, that our species is separate from the rest of the biosphere. And of course, the ecological crisis is what's basically telling us that's not the case. We can say humanity is one of the many millions of species that the biosphere has produced. We are a manifestation of the biosphere, just like all the other species. And the situation we're in now, the challenge is to realize that and to integrate it into how we actually live, rather than becoming so preoccupied with our own wealth and comfort. Can we understand that as simply one of the species of the biosphere, we have this responsibility to something greater than ourselves? That today we are challenged to realize that and to take up that responsibility. It really seems to be a kind of a critical turning point in our evolution, that either we will wake up to this realization of non-separation, or we will end up breaking down, failing, falling apart as a civilization. The challenge is up to us.